In this video, I want to discuss what it is that Trony saw when she investigated the Ark's power source. Now, for a bit of context, basically what happened is that Trony went to directly investigate the Ark's power source in hopes to further improve the converter project that she and Oleg were in charge of. Now, it was never shown nor stated whatever it is that she actually saw that day. However, whatever it is that it is so scary that Trony just straight up abandoned all hope and locked herself up inside her room for years. In fact, she was so traumatized that she even welcomed the idea of having her memory be wiped. Now, based on the information that we currently have, we can conclude that whatever it is that Trony saw is that it's something that can instill tremendous amounts of fear even on Nikke's. And second is that it is a power source that can infinitely generate energy. Now, there aren't really that many things that can instill fear on Nikke's, especially something that can make them feel so helpless that they'll just straight up give up on their lives and dreams. In fact, there's really only one thing that I can think of, and it's the raptures, more specifically very powerful raptures, such as the heretics. So I think it's not so far-fetched to conclude that this power source is some sort of rapture technology, especially when there's already been a lot of hints in the story that the Ark is using rapture technology, such as the similarities between the creation process of heretics and Nikke's, the mysterious origins of the nymph, which Cecil already confirmed that the nymph is not created by humans. There is also the Admire, which was stated to be a ship that was captured from the Raptures, which in a way explains why the Admire has a mind of its own. Lastly, even the Ark itself is already confirmed to be structured similar to the structure of Rapture colonies, and so I believe that it would make sense that the Ark's power source is also something of Rapture origin. This would explain why this power source can infinitely generate excessive amounts of energy than what is needed by the Ark, as the Raptors is most likely the only ones in possession of such advanced technology, unless there's a second alien civilization on Earth that we don't know about just yet. Now, before I discuss my theory on what Trony saw that day, I would first like to point out the possibility that it is the same thing that Red Hood saw that made her want to destroy the Ark. This thing right here. Now, I know that there are people who believe that Red Hood's corruption is what made her want to destroy the Ark. However, Chapter 26 convinced me that this simply isn't the case. Besides, Red Hood was already corrupted before she became aware of the Ark, so it wouldn't make sense that her corruption code would tell her to destroy something that she wasn't even aware of. So after considering the points that I've previously stated and some quick analysis of the game's lore, I came up with a theory that the Ark's power source is most likely the head of the former Rapture Queen. It could also be her core, but I'm leaning more towards it being her head. This is because I believe that the head of the Rapture Queen would fit the category of something that can instill fear on the heart of a Nikke. It also wouldn't be a stretch to believe that something like the Rapture Queen's head can generate an infinite amount of energy. The head would also pose a great enough threat towards humanity that it would make sense why Red Hood would want to destroy the Ark along with it, especially if we consider the possibility that the head might still be alive, or whatever the equivalent of alive is to Raptors. I would also like to point out that the thing Red Hood saw clearly looked like an eye peering through a hole from within what appeared to be some sort of container. Now, you're probably thinking on how the hell would the Ark be able to manage to get their hands on the head of the former queen? Well, it is hinted on the lost relic from the Red Ash event titled A Secret Message that Lilywise and her commander went on a secret mission to take out the Rapture Queen. And so my theory is that this fight ended with a double KO, with Lilith successfully decapitating the Queen's head and the Queen succeeding on corrupting Lilith. And once the battle is over, the humans was able to recover the Queen's head, and so they took it back to the Ark to study it. This would also explain why the Raptures needed a new queen and why they only took Lilith's head and not her body.